Guys, we're back. What was D-Day? Chapter 7, Bloody Omaha. So if you look up here, here's Normandy, here's Omaha, and then here's Utah, here's Omaha, and they're all different places on the coast. Okay? At 6:30 a.m., dawn on D-Day, the small landing boats began arriving at Normandy. At last, full-scale attack of the beaches was at hand. Most soldiers arrived feeling cold, wet, and sick. Despite all their training, they were about to face overwhelming firepower by the Germans. Oh, look at these mines in the water. The landing at Utah Beach went like clockwork. This was thanks mostly to the paratroopers, these guys, who had disarmed the big German guns the night before. At Gold, Juno, and Sword Beaches, soldiers had to overcome greater enemy fire. And at Omaha, American troops faced the worst conditions of all. The terrible battle fought there became known as Bloody Omaha. Omaha was a key beach because it lay at the center of Normandy. Center is right smack dab in the middle. It stretched for 6 miles between Utah and Gold. Omaha was also the most difficult beach to invade, so the Allies sent twice the number of troops there. Unlike the other beaches, Omaha was backed by a wall of cliffs 100 feet high. Over 1,000 Germans were in bunkers on top. They fired down from their perches as if from a rooftop. The boat stopped a few hundred yards from shore, and landing ramps were lowered. Soldiers needed to wade in the rest of the way. Germans let loose with fury of firepower. Bullets ripped at the sides of the boats, capsizing many. One shell hit a boat filled with explosives, blowing it sky high. All men on board were killed instantly. That's why there's people laying down here on the beach of Omaha. There's a big cliff, and up on the cliff, there were German soldiers with big guns. So did we stand a chance on the beach of Omaha? No. Look at that. Germans aimed their machine guns straight at the exit ramps of small boats. Bullets hit the Allied soldiers the second they stepped onto the ramp. Private First Class Robert Bob Sales recalled the terrible first moments of Omaha. This is him talking. The ramp went down, and our captain was the first man off, and they just riddled him. So riddled means they fired so many bullets that he looked like Swiss cheese. So many holes. Sales was the only survivor of more than 30 men on his boat, and we watched this on YouTube. You can see him on YouTube. They do an interview with him. We were cut into pieces, he said. Okay. Zipper. So that's a gun. Guy underwater. We're talking about. Nazi soldiers blasted the landing boats with MG-42s. They were the fastest machine guns in the world at that time, double the speed of American Browning. The guns fired at 2,000 miles per hour, 125 bullets every second. Wow. That rapid sound of its gunfire earned it the name Hitler's Zipper. Pow, 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 pow. Men landed in water over their heads, weighted down by gear and weak from seasickness. They struggled underwater for their lives. I really panicked, said Private First Class Sales. He shed his radio, gun, and jacket just in time to rise back to the surface. Because remember, they carried a lot, right? When they went in, we learned about what all the paratroopers wore. The soldiers wore a lot. And so he had to let go of some of it so he could swim back to the top. Soldiers who survived the landing tried to reach shore. We had about 500 yards of water to cross, Lieutenant Colonel Alfred FBR later told in a letter home. We couldn't run because the water was too deep. We couldn't crouch. We couldn't do anything except just what we did. They pushed forward, bullets whizzing overhead. The surf turned red with the blood of the wounded and crying. Near the coastline, men tried to hide behind some of the steel defenses set up by the Germans. It was no use against the enemy's long-range weapons. All I could see was chaos, catastrophe, Chuck Holbert, combat engineer, recalled. Boats burning, smoking, dead men all along the water's edge. Soldiers staggered onto the beach, but dry land offered little relief. The killing zone lay ahead, 1,000 feet of open, dangerous beach before the soldiers could reach the cliffs. They had to get past jagged steel beams, sharp barbed wire, and 17,000 buried mines. An hour after landing, the battle at Omaha was an all-out disaster. All the fire had come from enemy guns. The Allies had barely fired a shot. Soldiers fought just to save their lives. D-Day was not going according to plan. Okay, so remember, Omaha, was it a good battle or tell me about it? It was a bad battle. Why? What kind of advantage did they have? The higher land. Well, I don't know that our guns didn't reach up high enough. Could we see all of the people, or did they have an opportunity to hide out? Do you agree? And then they were able to see where we were, but we couldn't necessarily see where they were, right? And then, did we have anything to shield us? No. But over here at Utah, who came down and saved the day? The paratroopers. They were able to clear out a lot of the people back here. So when we got to the beach, there were less Hitler's men, but we still had to watch out for the... What are those? The mines. So, huh? Right. They would kill you. So, the Normandy, were the beaches of Utah and Omaha on the coast of Normandy? Yes or no? And Omaha, was right smack dab in the middle. All right. Bye, guys.